The fans make their way in from Yawkey Way to Fenway Park for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, some trade deadlines, not a lot happens. That was not the case yesterday, where the Red Sox took care of a lot of family business in one day. The biggest of them all, John Lester going to the Oakland A's along with Johnny Gomes as part of the deal. John Lester, the lowest earned run average of his career so far at 2.52 this year. Yoenis Cespedes, which is so unusual here. It's not prospects. It's a bona fide major leaguer who comes to the Red Sox with a lot of power. 17 home runs so far for Cespedes. But the Red Sox were not done there. John Lackey also shipped to the St. Louis Cardinals. Back again is major league quality in Alan Craig and Joe Kelly. Kelly will instantly go into the rotation, and Craig is in the starting lineup tonight for the Red Sox. But wait, there's more. Andrew Miller in the bullpen. The steady left-hander was so good for the Red Sox this year, 2.34 earned run average. He goes to the Orioles, coming back a Double-A pitcher from Double-A Bowie for the Orioles, and Eduardo Rodriguez as part of that deal. Of course, Miller was going to be a free agent at the end of the year, and Steven Drew, a tough season this year in his return to the Red Sox. He'll play second base for the first time in the majors tonight for New York. Red Sox get Kelly Johnson, who's got a groin problem right now and not active for tonight's game. So there it is, and there's more than that as the Red Sox make a lot of call-ups today as well, Jerry. A lot of new faces in that clubhouse.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got right now.
I'd say it was an incredible day yesterday. I sat home and I watched this all on NESN unfold, and I couldn't believe it. You know, we expected a lot of moves on, and we certainly got a lot of moves yesterday. And I think the positive thing from the Red Sox point of view is you got some major leaguers in return. Guys that come in here for the rest of the season, show what they're worth, and really help this club develop for 2015. You know, you got a guy like Cespedes that you know is going to be around. You have guys like Ortiz and Pedroia that you know they're going to be around. So it's an opportunity to see what you got for the rest of this year and then move forward into 2015, you know, seeing, you know, what you need to make yourself back to a championship ball club. So it was an incredible day. I've never seen anything like it in Major League Baseball since I've been around.
Well, one of the guys they did get with major league quality is in the lineup tonight for the Red Sox, part of our Chevy key player to watch, and that is Alan Craig.
Well, you can see the numbers in his career. It's 91 average, 57 home runs, 291 RBIs. With St. Louis this season, a bit of a down year, 237, only 7 homers and 44 RBIs. Now, this guy had an ankle injury a year ago, which really caused him some problems. Up to that point, they've been a very good hitter. And the Red Sox, you know, they know when he's at his best when he's hitting the right center field. They've got him in left field in the starting lineup tonight, probably right here at Fenway Park. He'll play left field, Cespedes in right field when they get him in the lineup. So Alan Craig coming over from the Cardinals to the Red Sox, it certainly bolsters the offense for the Red Sox.
Well, tonight's exciting. We got a new pitcher on the mound tonight, making his major league debut. Anthony Ranaudo, a New Jersey native and a Red Sox prospect, on the mound tonight to take on the New York Yankees. We're back with more from Fenway right after this. Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Now it's the Red Sox and Yankees getting ready for Game 1 of the weekend 3-game series from Fenway. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Well, a series of changes taking place yesterday and a much different looking roster today for the Red Sox. But the guys that are still here, still very important. And one of those guys is Xander Bogaerts. Of course, earlier this year, shifted from shortstop to third base. He is back to short. He's part of our Coors Light, cold hard facts, and a breakdown from when he was the shortstop to when he moved to third base. 54 games at short, of course, before the return of Stephen Drew at 296 with 6 errors. Then to third base, where he hit it only 182, made 10 errors at third base. Red Sox hoping the return to shortstop will help his offense, certainly, and Bogaerts happy to be back at shortstop. Well, happy to be back for us is Gary Streisky. Gary?
Dio, I'm glad we didn't get traded. We made it past that 4 p.m. trade deadline. You were talking about all the new names that are going to be injected in this Red Sox roster, whether in the lineup or the rotation, over the course of the next 2 months. But how about a familiar name? They're going back to what they started with at shortstop. It's Xander Bogaerts. Today, during BP in the clubhouse, you could just tell he's got a little more pop in his step because he's going back to what he knows the best, that John Farrell explains in our Geico quote of the day.
He's going to go back to a position he's most familiar with. We agree that I think the defensive component of his game was improving prior to the signing of Stephen Drew, and I say improving. He was showing better range, particularly to the glove side. So he's going back to a position of familiarity.
Talk about Xander Bogaerts moving to shortstop, the guy who's replacing his position now, a guy at third base we're used to seeing there as well. Will Middlebrooks called up from Pawtucket today. He's excited to get back to third base. He says, listen, I've been here on the big league stage. I can do it offensively. You know I can do it defensively. The only thing I need to do is just stay healthy. So here's the hope, and both of those guys start clicking tonight, Dio.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. It'll be fun to watch. Will Middlebrooks back at third base for Boston and hopefully hitting some home runs. We're back at the first pitch for Fenway right after this. Airlines, your Audi dealers of New England, Dunkin' Donuts, Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com, PaulRadine.com, celebrity golf instruction, and much more. Subaru dealers of New England, McDonald's, I'm loving it, and by New England Ford dealers. Welcome to Fenway Park in Boston. Cloud covered as we get this game started tonight. Red Sox have taken the field. So let's check out the Yankees starting lineup. It's brought to you by Volvo. Brett Gardner is in left field, leading it off with Derek Jeter at shortstop in his final season. Jacoby Ellsbury in center field bats third with Mark Teixeira at first base. Carlos Beltran is the DH with Brian McCann doing the catching. Chase Headley, newcomer to the Yankees, at third base bats seventh. Stephen Drew with his debut at second base in the majors, and Ichiro Suzuki in right field bats ninth. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. Major League debut for Anthony Ranaudo. 21 starts with the Pawtucket Red Sox, 12-4, with a 2.41 earned run average, 99 Ks to 49 walks in. Opponent sitting at 205 against Ranaudo. So the New Jersey native towing the rubber here tonight against the New York Yankees. Brett Gardner standing in on the left side, and the first pitch of the ball game is high for ball one, and we're underway.
What to expect from Ranaudo: a fastball, a curveball, which has improved over the course of the season, and a changeup.
Gardner will take, and he takes strike one. So many changes on the Red Sox, but Ranaudo told a couple days ago this was possible, so he's had it in his mind for a couple of days, and here he is. The 1-1 is ball two.
A 2.41 ERA was second best in the International League. You see, he was born in New Jersey.
Ninth different pitcher to make a start for the Red Sox this season. And it's fouled off by Gardner to even the count at 2-2. Not only 2 earned runs over his last 17 2/3 innings for 1.02 earned run average in his last 3 starts at AAA. Always like to have a guy move up when they're pitching well at AAA, and that's what he's been doing. On the ground, foul. Still 2-2.
That's the first example of the curveball we were talking about right there, and it's one that John Farrell said that has really come a long way since last season, and it has been a difference maker at the AAA level for him this year.
Gardner fouls off another to the left, and he'll see his 7th pitch of the at-bat. Gardner coming in hitting at 283, not your usual leadoff hitter. He's got some pop. 14 home runs on the year for Brett Gardner. Joe Girardi's team coming in 5 games back of the Baltimore Orioles in the American League East. High for ball 3, full count. Now 4/5 of the Red Sox rotation no longer with the Red Sox. Clay Buchholz the only holdover from opening day, and Ranaudo part of the new look rotation for the Red Sox. And lengthy at bat, 8-pitch at bat, and Gardner works a walk to get it started.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 8th in the league with 65 errors on the season. Will Middlebrooks back at third base. Xander Bogaerts back at shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli, the first baseman, left to right. Alan Craig, Mookie Betts, and Brock Holt, and David Ross doing the catching.
The crowd giving Derek Jeter a round of applause here at Fenway. He will receive more of that when he comes back for the final series of the year here at Fenway. In his final go-around around the major leagues for Jeter, hitting at 277 this year, 2 homers, and 27 runs batted in.
Gardner at first base have 17 steals on the season. He's been caught 4 times.
Chopped right side. Pedroia ranges over, looked at second, but fires to first for the out as Gardner takes second base. 4-3 on the out of Jeter. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now. The MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season. Tonight, Preplay predicts Anthony Ranaudo will go 5 1/3 innings, allow 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and strike out 5. While they cheered Jeter, they boo Ellsbury. There's Jacoby coming up here. 279, 9 homers, and 48 runs batted in. Stephen Drew playing second base for the first time tonight with his new team. Ellsbury with a fly ball to short left. Alan Craig, his first try as a member of the Red Sox, and takes care of business. 2 down. Did you know the signs of a stroke? The Stroke Center, Beth Israel Deacon, is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Reminds you fast treatment can save lives. Learn the symptoms at bidmc.org/stroke symptoms. 2 down in the first inning. Brett Gardner at second base. And Mark Teixeira, the batter. 18 homers, 50 RBIs for Teixeira, and a .233 average.
Had that shot of Stephen Drew in the Yankee dugout, and what a strange feeling that has to be. I mean, it's always strange to be traded and go to a new ball club, but you know, when you have a day off and you come back and you go to the visiting clubhouse instead of the home clubhouse, that's a little weird.
Popped up foul off to the left, and it's 0-2. Of course, the Red Sox were in Minnesota the trade deadline the day that Nomar Garciaparra was traded away, and Doug Mankiewicz walked from the home clubhouse in Minnesota to the visiting clubhouse and joined the Red Sox. Of course, along with Orlando Cabrera coming to the Red Sox and Dave Roberts. 0-2 pitch to Teixeira. Fouled it off himself.
Velocity-wise, the hardest fastball that Ranaudo has thrown so far. That went at 94 miles an hour, down and in. On Teixeira.
Carlos Beltran waiting on deck. 2 down here in the Yankees' first inning. Brett Gardner at second base. Inside, and it's 1-2. Teixeira's reached the 15 home run plateau and now 11 of his 12 major league seasons since 2003, all but 2013. 18 of them so far this year for Teixeira. That's from the left side against the right-hander. Breaking ball fouled off to the left, and we'll do it again. 1-2. 276 average in his career in over 1,500 games. Ball 2-2-2. What a busy day today has been for John Farrell, meeting the new guys. Yesterday saying goodbye to a lot of the players headed out. Trying to let everybody know what their roles are moving forward. Roster changes. 2-2 pitch. And a check swing grounder back to Ranaudo. He is through his first major league inning, much to the liking of the Ranaudos who are here at Fenway tonight. Score Red Sox coming up. So let's check out the Red Sox starting 9, brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Brock Holt leads it off in right field with Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting second. David Ortiz, the DH. Mike Napoli at first base in the cleanup spot with Alan Craig in left field. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop at sixth with Will Middlebrooks back with the Red Sox again at third base. David Ross does the catching, and Mookie Betts again called up. He is in center field. Tonight's Yankee starting pitcher is presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Former Red Sox left-hander Chris Capuano. His combined numbers between Boston and New York. This will be his 30th appearance, second start. 1-1 with a 4.30 earned run average. 33 strikeouts and 19 walks for Capuano, who is in the pen and makes his second start of the year, both with New York.
And that last start for Capuano against the Toronto Blue Jays went 6 innings in that game, gave up 2 earned runs, got a no decision.
Now Brock Holt leading it off, hitting up over 300 at 302 heading into tonight's game. Holt has cooled off lately. 2 for 12 so far in the homestand. 3 for his last 34. As he takes a pitch outside, 2-0. Yoenis Cespedes in the house. And a flight that arrived a little bit after 4 o'clock. Not in the starting lineup tonight, but on the lineup card, John Farrell said. So we may see him in the game tonight. 2-0 pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. So I don't know about you, but I was amazed that the Red Sox were able to get a guy like Yoenis Cespedes back as part of these deals.
Yeah, that's what was so strange about yesterday, because a lot of times we see deals at the break like that where players are unsigned and what you get back are prospects. Well, in this case for John Lester, they got a proven quality back in Cespedes, a guy that can hit home runs, the guy that can obviously has a great arm in the outfield, will probably play right field here for the Red Sox. Can do a lot of things on the baseball field.
Strange for him in that he was going from a first place team with the best record 66-41 now to the Red Sox, and he was such a big part of their offense, smack dab in the middle. There's a ground ball foul, and of course the Red Sox have him under control for another year as well. And certainly David Ortiz got to be happy to have some protection around him, as he's not going to leave his side. He's been next to him the entire time he's been here.
The lineup, when you get Cespedes in there, obviously, in a day or so, it looks totally different. When you get guys like Craig in there and Cespedes and Ortiz and Napoli, and it's a different kind of lineup now.
Holt with a wild swing and a miss, but it gets away from McCann a long way, and Brock Holt's going to reach. So a strikeout, but we'll see. Probably wild pitch will allow him to reach at first base.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup that time from Capuano. That's going to get away. It is a changeup, and it gets away from McCann, the catcher, who tried to backhand the ball instead of block it. And a very alert Brock Holt sees that and makes his way down to first base. It's a long run when you strike out and go to first base, but at least the Red Sox have a base runner.
Well, they charge McCann with a pass ball. So lead runner on for Dustin Pedroia. He'll take strike one. Pedroia 276 coming in, 4 homers and 38 runs batted in. Bouncing in and blocked by McCann.
That time a good job by McCann blocking the ball instead of trying to catch it. Takes it off the chest protector, and Brock Holt has to remain at first base.
Throw to first and back to the bag is Holt. Was not far enough that he needed to dive, so crossed over to get back. Well, the second time Capuano has faced the Red Sox in his career. Lost 8-1. As a member of the Dodgers. Of course, to face the Yankees 3 times this year, all out of the bullpen for Boston, but now in a Yankees uniform. His third stop this year with Colorado in between. There's a one hopper to short, possibly 2. Jeter goes to second for 1, and not in time at first base. So Pedroia will reach at first. Holt retired at second on the force out.
Now there you see Stephen Drew at second base making his first attempt at a double play. He's never played second base at the professional level. A one-handed catch and then the transfer to the throwing hand, which is going to make it late at first base. Hasn't had any time to work on it except in batting practice today. There you see Drew with the one-handed catch. You'll see most second basemen have both hands out there so they can make that very quick transfer.
Now he's in a shift position and in short right field. Leave Jeter on the left side. They bring Chase Headley to the right side, third baseman for the Yankees. David Ortiz. 250, 25 home runs, 77 runs batted in for Big Papi. He'll take strike 1. High fly ball to deep right field. Ichiro making his way over with room to make the catch in front of the warning track, and no advance for Pedroia. 2 down.
Let's take a look at the Yankee defense. They are 9th in the American League with 64 errors on the season. Chase Headley will be at third base. Derek Jeter, the shortstop. Stephen Drew at second. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman. Left to right, Brett Gardner, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Ichiro, who just made that catch. And Brian McCann doing the catching for Capuano.
A cloudy night here tonight in Boston. So far, precipitation free. Lights are on. As Mike Napoli stands in with 2 outs and Pedroia at first base. To center field, and Ellsbury back a few steps to bring it in. And to end the first inning, we will talk rotations in the Scion Bowl. We come back to Fenway without a score.
Trade deadline, which team has the best starting rotation in baseball? Sox 1 for the Detroit Tigers, who added David Price. Sox 2, who got Lester, the Oakland A's. Or Sox 3, the St. Louis Cardinals, where John Lackey now calls home. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates, those may apply. Text help. If you need it, visit NESN.com/terms for all that fun legal stuff, guys.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. I'm going Tigers.
Because of David Price, right?
Yes. Already pretty good with Verlander and Scherzer. And Porcello, you mix in David Price, and now you especially think about that first round 5-game series. Price, Scherzer, and Verlander. Pretty good. Sonny Gray now along with John Lester with the Oakland A's. The one pitch is going to miss. Now, we knew Lester was going to go. I mean, at that point in the last 24 hours or so. But did you think Lackey was going too?
I had a feeling that it was possible, yes. We talked about it last week where I thought bodies were going to be flying all over the place. And, once they made a decision, and apparently that decision came after that series in Toronto, that they were going to clean house, I kind of had a feeling that both veteran pitchers would go, And the thing is, I wasn't quite sure what the return was going to be. The return, in my opinion, has been very good for the Red Sox. You lose them 2 quality pitchers. There's no question about that. Lester hits the free agent market. Lackey still has a year left on his contract, but you get major league players in return, and you have 2 months to find out what this club is going to look like and what the needs are going to be in the offseason.
The one guy who I thought would go who did not go of all the guys yesterday was Koji.
Yeah, I know. You were kind of feeling that way last week.
That's going to miss full count just because of what,
But maybe there's a feeling that they can sign him.
That would be great if that works out. Carlos Beltran at .239, 12 homers and 37 runs batted in. Red Sox, of course, sending Andrew Miller away to the Baltimore Orioles. There's ball 4 to Beltran. Another leadoff walk, second inning in a row for Ranaudo. Well, tomorrow night, Charlie Moore's Summer of Fun continues with Johnny Damon. Catch up with Damon in sunny Windermere, Florida, where the guys play golf and the Mad Fisherman decides to show Johnny how to fish the small ponds on the course. Don't miss Charlie Moore Outdoors tomorrow at 8:30. Charlie Moore will be with us at the top of the 3rd inning here from Fenway Park. He's in the house tonight. Brian McCann, the batter, with Beltran at first base, and McCann takes strike 1.
Another thing that I'm excited about seeing is the combination of Middlebrooks and Bogarts at shortstop and third base. How that works out the rest of the season.
Kind of finishing the way it all started. And a healthy Middlebrooks, a good thing. John Farrell was hoping that he got through batting practice okay tonight. Apparently he did in the starting lineup.
I was a little surprised to hear that because they've been playing down in Pawtucket.
This is in the air to left center field. Back goes Craig. It'll take him onto the warning track, but he makes the catch as he learns left field here at Fenway Park. 1 down.
He was out there prior to the game and having conversations with Daniel Nava about playing the left field wall here at Fenway Park. McCann going back to the warning track, backpedaling about 3 or 4 steps. Something you really don't like to do is backpedal, but you see earlier this afternoon during batting practice, Nava trying to explain the best he possibly can on what angles you might get off that left field wall.
One out, Beltran at first base. Red Sox in a shift on the right side. They keep it tight to the infield for Chase Headley. First time we've seen him in a Yankees uniform. Batting .303 since joining the Yankees on the 22nd of July. Hit at .316 since the beginning of July, and now first day of August today with his new team. Berkshire Bank, America's most exciting bank. Visit berkshirebank.com or one of our locations in New England and New York to discover how big bank resources combined with small bank attention can help you find your exciting moments. Life is exciting. Let Berkshire Bank help. Headley acquired with cash considerations from San Diego in exchange for Yangervis Solarte, we saw earlier this season with New York. 2-0 slap foul down the left field line. Numbers with San Diego in 77 games with the Padres, hitting at .229. Headley to right field. In comes Holt, and he'll make the catch on the run, coming straight in with his second out of the inning.
Now Brock Holt got an excellent jump on that ball.
Stephen Drew batting with 2 down. His first at bat in a Yankees uniform. 39 games with the Red Sox. Just a .176 average. 4 homers and 11 runs batted in. It does appear, Jerry, looking at the numbers as we did as part of the Open, that the move to third base for Xander Bogaerts seemed to hurt him offensively.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, that's what the numbers say. And, you know, he didn't play a very good defensive third base either. And he was starting to play an improved shortstop before the move to third base when they signed Drew.
Swing and a miss. You keep hearing 21. He's young. He can still change. But can a guy get range the older he gets? I mean, can you teach range in any way?
You can't teach range, but you can teach how to get jumps off pitches. And you know, once you get to know the hitters in the league, you know your own pitches better. That helps you get a jump, which I guess, you know, turns into better range.
So you can cheat a little bit is what you're saying.
Exactly. It's just knowledge of the league, knowledge of the hitters, knowledge of the pitches.
Fouled off to the left, out of play.
I mean, he's probably as fast as he's ever going to be at 21 years old. He's probably not going to get faster. But the fact is, he can get smarter, and he can learn how to position himself better. I mean, that's an ongoing process with all players.
Napoli holding on Beltran, was there with nobody out, still there with 2 down. Ball and 2 strikes. Ranaudo has walked the first batter of each of the first 2 innings. Walked Brett Gardner, who's left at second. Walked Beltran, who is at first base right now with 2 down. To first, and Napoli, little bobble, but plenty of time to recover for the out that ends the inning. Inning and a half deep from the fans. We'll see Alan Craig's first at bat. We come back. at bat with the Red Sox. You'll remember him for this play at third base, hung up with Will Middlebrooks, and how this all ended in the World Series in St. Louis as Middlebrooks gets tangled up in the legs there, the obstruction call, and the very strange ending to that ball game that the Red Sox lost because of the play at third. And Alan Craig right in the middle of that. And now here he is in a Red Sox uniform, a teammate of Will Middlebrooks. First at bat after the trade yesterday that sees Craig come here from the Cardinals for John Lackey. This one sprayed foul down the right field line. "97 games with the Cardinals at .237. The ankle has been a problem all year. 7 homers, 44 RBIs. Comes with Joe Kelly. And he lines one to center. Ellsbury coming in to make the catch on the run. Send it down to Gary.
Guys, it comes full circle between Will Middlebrooks and Alan Craig. In the clubhouse, Alan Craig's locker right next to Will Middlebrooks's. The first thing Will told Alan was, hey, I'll try not to trip you.
He's already done that as we head here with one out to Xander Bogaerts coming up. Jerry, you get the feeling walking around the clubhouse that people should have name tags on today. It would help out.
It was really strange there this afternoon. One of the strangest days that I've seen mid-season. As I said, it was almost like the first day of spring training. You know, where guys are coming in, hey, how you doing? You know, who are you? And excuse me, I am Jerry, and it was just incredible. It was, you know, and then there's guys still leaving, like Mike Cobb, for example, still leaving as new guys were coming in.
Carp DFA'd today by the Red Sox.
But it kind of gave, you had the feeling like there was a bit of hope in there. You know, you know, down it's been over the last couple of weeks, very quiet. And anytime you get an infusion of new people.
Bogaerts goes down to get this and lifts it into left for a base hit over the leap of Jeter at short, and Bogaerts on with a single.
That's a 6-game hitting streak now for Bogaerts as he does a good job staying back on the changeup that time from Capuano. Okay, you see the change grip in, right? A little bit toward the end of the bat, but the line drive hit well enough to get him over the head of Jeter. And the base hit for Bogaerts. So 6 straight games now for Xander.
Now look at this 6-gamer. 400 with 2 doubles and a home run along the way. And he's at first with 1 out. Will Middlebrooks back in the Red Sox lineup. Long way back for Will. "26 total games of rehab with the Paw Sox, sitting at .229 with Pawtucket. 197 with Boston this year. 2 homers and 9 runs batted in. Throw to first and back to the bag is Bogaerts.
Bogaerts with only 2 steals on the season, has been caught twice.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Had a lot of Red Sox playing is changing lockers today too, with all the new additions and some of the subtractions. There was a premium for some of the premium lockers in the clubhouse.
Some prime real estate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Location.
It's all
available.
about location in the clubhouse.
And some movement in there today. Where were you in the old clubhouse? What was your location?
In the old clubhouse, as you come in the main door,
yeah,
I was just off to the left.
So everybody came in and saw you first?
First
like
or
writers,
second, yeah.
Really?
With a bright smile on my face for everybody.
Very cheery, happy. 0 for 4 yesterday, looking to say hello. How did that happen?
That was in the newer clubhouse.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Yeah, well, then again, you were playing with guys like Rice, Evans, Lynn. Yeah, there's some other guys.
Well, the older clubhouse, before they remodeled it, I was right near Yaz. It was Yaz, myself, Rick Burleson, and Butch Hobson.
Not bad. It's a good location.
Yeah, that was a good spot.
I wouldn't want to be near Rice because it seemed like that where Rice was, there was like an area over there in that corner back there in the left corner where he's sitting in his chair.
Yeah.
That looked like a pretty good place to be. You're kind of away from everything.
Yeah, you get a good look at the whole clubhouse.
Yes. 2-2. Middlebrooks jumping back out of the way. The thing I was happiest about, Jerry, was that we were not traded yesterday. There was a chance there, I think, for a while for a 3-team deal, but it's gone.
And when Red died at the deadline, from what I understand, my people, my sources tell me that it was right down to the deadline, you going back to Tito in the Cleveland Indians.
Saw Michael Kay when I came in today, and it almost looked like he was in our booth, but he was next door behind the glass. Swing and a miss, and Middlebrooks strikes out. So 2 down for a strikeout for Capuano of the night.
A full time on the changeup by Capuano. Off balance swing by Middlebrooks. Gets him on the front foot on the off-speed pitch. The thing that held up your deal yesterday was cash considerations. I mean, you made too much money.
This guy sitting what I thought was in my seat when I came in ended up being next door, but I thought the trade had been made.
Yeah, he works all day long.
He does.
He has a radio show all afternoon and games at night.
And does this.
Yeah, I mean,
it never ends.
It's unbelievable.
So anyway, did not get traded to New York, which I knew wasn't happening. I thought I was going to Pittsburgh, as you recall.
Yeah.
Or Cleveland, but it didn't work out, and we're still here. 2 down for David Ross. Ross had 189, 6 homers and 11 runs batted in. Strike one.
I watched just about that whole show that Nesson had on at 3 o'clock, and Tom Caron and the guests did a great job on that show. So it was interesting watching all this stuff come down, and of course they already had the lesser information by the time they went on the air. But a good job well done.
Go to first, and back to the bag is Bogarts.
Kind of reminded me of an election. You know, when they leave the podium and they go sit in the, what do they call it, the dugout? And they would check their phones.
Look at the phones.
It's almost like they would check it, like, what's Ohio doing right now? You know,
Nick Cafardo and Rob Bradford.
Yeah,
in touch with all the GMs.
Looks like Ohio's going to go this way.
One pitch in the dirt.
We can now confirm it's a red state.
Craig lined out his center to begin the inning. Bogarts with a single to left. Middlebrooks strikes out. 2 down, and David Ross with a count of 1-1. We really do have to credit Ben Cherington and his crew for working the way they did to make this happen. I mean, all the moves they had to make and all the moving parts to get it done. That's not easy, and sounds like they worked all night to get it done.
Yeah, I don't imagine many general managers and their assistants get too much rest within 3 or 4 days of the trade deadline.
On the ground left side, Jeter will go to first for the out that ends the inning. Through 2 without a score from Fenway. Nessa Jimmy Fund Telethon presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. Well, we head to the top half of the third inning without a score. The Mad Fisherman in the house, Charlie Moore. Charlie, good to see you.
How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
Doing, Charlie?
How you doing?
All right.
What's going on, guys?
Charlie's not happy with me, Jerry. I don't know if you know
I'm more than
he's down on me right now.
Why? Could you have a call?
Well, he's tried to reach out to me a couple of times to go back on the show. I've not been on the show since 2001 or 2002, something like that.
When you first came into town?
Yeah, 2001.
Uh-oh.
In the air to left field, back goes Craig, and he'll get to the track to make the catch. Ichiro is retired. So we're trying to do the second show, and the problem is I don't have any days off. I mean, we're
no, that's not the problem.
That's right.
What's the problem?
That's right.
The problem is you never return phone calls.
That's right. I mean, hey, I don't want to get in the middle, but I mean, I look like I am. But that's right.
I return some phone calls.
That's the problem.
I do. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. I admit I'm not good at it.
No, you're not good at all.
But we're going to do the show. We are going to do the show. I'd like him to come to Rhode Island, though.
Oh, because it's more convenient for you.
Because it's about
Look at
me.
this. Look at this. What is this? Oh my. Yeah.
And Lake Winnipesaukee like far. You got to go here, then there, and that. It's logistics. That's the issue right now. It's logistics.
Well, I think what what Jerry is saying is it's a guy thing when you don't return texts or emails.
So it's kind of like a bro code.
That's got nothing. It's total bro code.
Yeah.
Because some of my texts and emails were heartfelt. I got down to the wire like, Don, do you love me?
And I got
you didn't even respond. Don, you want to do dinner, just me and you after the game?
It was probably a bad time. That's all I could think of. I can't think of it.
If we continue this, people are going to think we're really serious.
We'll get this done. Yeah. Tomorrow you got Johnny Damon. How did that go?
Well, real quick, back to your thing is not to switch gears, but you did literally come into town.
Yeah.
And you did literally do the show like
right away
3 weeks later when you got into town.
Yeah, right out of the chute.
And that was 2001. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you did a thing with an interview where you complained about that I never called you back, and now it's like you're paying me back.
It's the other way around now.
See, so I want to be fair because then he did complain about it.
So basically what you're saying, he was begging to get on the show.
And then I said no the second time, and then I texted him and he didn't get back to me. So it's almost it's like so
Well, here's the show for tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like we're hanging out with Johnny. He talks a lot about why he left the Red Sox and what happened during the trade, and it's a lot of fun. And Johnny's a great guy, and I still think he wants to play baseball.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, I still think he wants to play, and
close to 3,000 hits.
Yeah, he's close to it. I think that he has not officially retired, and he actually texted me before I came up to the booth and said, to let Red Sox Nation know he wants to be playing. So
he's still in good shape.
Yeah, no, he really is in good shape. I mean, I think it'd be at least we could sell some tickets and have some fun with it, right? I mean, bringing Johnny Damon back, but it was a lot of fun being with him, and we also have another show on August 10th. I want to bring this up with Peter Frates, the former Boston College captain, and we did a really great show with Peter, and it was a really nice bunch of things we did with him. A couple of events he had, Pints for Pete, and that's August 10th. This weekend's Johnny Damon, and then the August 10th is Peter Frates.
We got to get Jerry fishing. I'm still trying to get him fishing. He's looking for a hobby. He needs a hobby.
He's got to get out. He's got to get out.
Yeah.
You even if he just float around and complain about.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
The problem is it'd be so embarrassing because I know nothing about it. Absolutely nothing.
But you've seen me. How much more embarrassing can it be than what I do? What are you talking about? You might make me look a little bit good. I mean, I'm just saying. Hey, have fun. We get a tan.
Yeah.
And then Don can cook for us.
Can we do it in the fall?
We can. You're more of like a cool weather guy.
Yeah.
I'm just sensing.
I don't have a lot of time in the summer. I mean,
that's the problem.
Fall's fine.
See, now you're blowing them off. Now
I'm not. I'm actually saying I would probably do it in the fall.
Swing and a miss for Jeter. Throw down and safe at second base is Brett Gardner. So a stolen base here for Gardner.
And we talked about Gardner's speed back in the first inning, and off with the pitch here. Takes him a while. Take a look at Ranaudo's move toward home plate. Not really quick to home plate. That's read well by Gardner, and the head first slide into second base. Gets in a scoring position with one out.
You've had so many people on the show over the years, so many big personalities and names. Who is your favorite if you had to pick one that you had on the show?
Oh, well, I can't. It's just been so much fun. Recently we did a show, with Hulk Hogan, and, obviously, like I said, we did Johnny Damon. There's just a different variety of different spices. obviously having one of the last interviews, if not the last interview with Kirk Gowdy a few years ago, was always good. And just really the classic Batman, and having Batman on. I mean, but really people always ask me that question, and I don't really have any bad shows. We have a lot of fun. I go out there. It's not just about fishing. It's about the experience, the food, the scotch, the cigars. It's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? So
fishing's really last when you think about it. Fishing
and I love to fish, but you don't want to make it just about be one dimensional. You want to be multi-dimensional. And of course, we have the Sox fans, the Bruins fans, and all the sports fans here in New England. I mean, it's such a great sports town that. They even love their fishing post guy, which is really desperate. It's really bad.
And now you're doing spices.
Yeah,
he's stepping into other stuff.
Yeah, we're doing some spices, and we got the Mad Fisherman Spice line. I know you guys like to cook. I know you guys like to eat. You talk about. I know you post a lot of your pictures there about Donatello. Donatangelo, sorry. I see. I'm on it.
He actually is more like Donatello.
On the ground up the middle, Bogarts dives, gets up, fires to first. It's not in time. And Gardner takes third. Credit Ellsbury for getting down the line. And Farrell's going to come out. We'll see if they challenge this. It was close play.
That's a great play there by Bogarts. Really quick to his feet to make that strong throw to first base. And now we'll wait to see if they're going to replay this. Diving, the ball just about by him. Gets up, spins. Wow, that's very close. Very close.
John is not going to challenge it appears. Ted Barrett going back to his spot at first base, the umpire, so no challenge.
He's in there.
Very close.
Yep.
So how did the spices start? Where did that come from? I know you like to eat, but I mean, all of a sudden you think I'm going to do spices now. How does that happen?
Yeah, no, just different. I got the cigar line, got the wine line, got the spice line. Just adding the elements to the show. Here's the thing: as you guys know, when you've been on TV as long as we have for 19 years or whatever, you got to start coming up with new stuff, or no one really cares. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know the feeling.
Next year there'll be like a Christmas album. We'll have a Christmas album.
Jerry's actually done that.
Yeah, you've done that.
I'm well past that.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It was horrible. It was really bad. Out to center field, on the run goes Betts. He'll get back there and make the catch.
All right.
Mad Fisherman.
Yes, good seeing
Thanks
you, man. Always.
You
It's good seeing you. I love you, buddy.
I
love you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Love you. All right, you guys are great.
Third, Don, Jerry, you were giving credit to Ben Cherington and crew for being able to wheel and deal and pull off the deals before the July 31st deadline because they were operating on just a couple hours of sleep, or in Ben Cherington's case, how about 0 hours of sleep? Wednesday night going into Thursday's July 31st trade deadline, Cherington told the media yesterday that he didn't sleep at all. In fact, the John Lester Yoenis Cespedes deal was agreed on in principle about 3 a.m. Eastern time, so about midnight Pacific time. Agreed on about 3. Yoenis Cespedes, talking to the media today, said he was sleeping when it spread about 7 o'clock Pacific time when he got the news that he had been dealt, guys. So it was literally a sleepless night for Ben Cherington and about 15 members of the Red Sox brass.
It takes so much to get all those deals done, and then you got to trade the medical reports and everything else before it gets done, and so much of that taking place, and so many different moving parts. And I think if you look at the other general managers and what they were dealing with yesterday, nobody was moving as many guys as the Red Sox were, and who knows, there could have been even more that could have gone yesterday. But Jerry, we were talking about the night before, thought there might be 5 or 6, maybe even as many as 7 or 8. That's a lot, and it all happened.
That's a lot, especially off a championship ball club.
And you got all the other moving parts as well, having to bring guys up, which they did. Mookie Betts here, of course. Anthony Ranaudo here. Will Middlebrooks here. They designate for assignment Mike Carp. Mookie Betts returning here to the Red Sox at 2:35 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Brock Holt and Dustin Pedroia batting here in the bottom of the 3rd without a score. Capuano in his first 5 innings was very good in his last start. Ran into trouble in the 6th inning. And you think about it, a guy that's really not been stretched out since spring training for the most part. Red Sox using him as kind of a couple of innings reliever, but he was far removed from being a starter as far as going deep into games. Payoff pitch. And it's down the third base line. Fair ball. Long throw. But Headley gets it there in plenty of time. Nice play. Guarding the line down there. And he needed to be for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, a little surprising to see him that close to the third base line with Mookie Betts up. But, of course, you see him jump before that. That means he knew what pitch was coming. He knew that there was going to be an off-speed pitch coming. And so he was kind of leaning in that direction. That's a great shot of how infielders can increase their range. And that was a beautiful example right there. Apparently Jeter notifying him a breaking ball was coming, and he's able to make the adjustment with a step to the right, and he makes the backhanded play.
Yeah, he was heading in that direction.
Yes, he was.
One down here in the 3rd inning. Brock Holt takes ball 1. Another look at what you're talking about.
Just take a look at number 12 and watch him go toward the line on the off-speed pitch right there. So he's leaning in that direction. Now, had it been a fastball that they were going to throw, he would have stayed exactly where he was.
Drops in there for a strike. 1-1 to Holt. Struck out but reached on a pass ball in the 1st inning.
I tell that story all the time about how infielders and outfielders like to know what pitch is coming because it helps them get a jump on the baseball. And there was a good example right there. A great example of it.
Down the line at first, and a fair ball. Over to play it is Ichiro as Holt heads for second base, and he's thinking 3. The throw from short right, there'll be none, and a triple for Brock Holt with 1 down.
Now Ichiro being very cautious on that right field line, which you have to be here at Fenway Park. And Brock Holt with a line shot right by Teixeira at first base. He gets a fastball in, and he hooks it right by Teixeira. Teixeira really didn't have time to move for it. Now Ichiro very cautious off the blades, off the boards, I should say. And finally gets it back in, but Brock Holt on the way to third base.
"90 feet away with 1 down in the inning. The infield coming in all the way around for New York. You're in the 3rd inning in a scoreless game. Pedroia reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, 0 for 1.
You see Ichiro down there in the corner being very, very careful not to let that ball get by him. That ball gets by him, you're talking about an inside the park home run.
They come into Pedroia, evens the count at 1-1. Capuano allowing a one-out triple here in the third inning. With the second hit that he's given up tonight. Single to left field by Xander Bogaerts in the second inning. (15 of 22) from third with less than 2 outs. And this is driven out towards deep right center field. Ellsbury headed back. It's going to be in the triangle. Jumps up into the seats. A ground rule double. Run will score. The Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Maybe a break there for the Yankees that did get up into the seats, because Pedroia may have had a triple.
Yeah, I think he would have done. You're exactly right. That ball hit a long way by Dustin Pedroia as it bounces up into the stands right near the yellow line out there at the 420. Changeup that stayed up in the zone that time to Pedroia, and he puts a charge in it.
So Pedroia at second base, 1 out, 1-0 Boston. David Ortiz the batter. Into the shift go the Yankees on the right side. Ortiz flied out to right in the first inning. .293 with runners in scoring position, even better lately. To right, and a base hit for Big Papi. From second comes Pedroia. No throw. Red Sox take a 2-0 lead.
Well, even in the shift, David Ortiz is able to defeat it this time. Fastball down, out over the plate. The line drive over the shift. Ortiz picks up his 78th RBI of the season. The Red Sox take a 2-0 lead.
So 1 out, Ortiz at first base. Here's Mike Napoli. Flied out to center field in the first. 0 for 1. Set it down to Gary.
Guys, remember back a couple weeks ago when David Ortiz promised he was going to get as hot as Jamaica in mid-August? Well, he wasn't lying. 25 RBIs in the month of July was better than anybody else in the big leagues. He led the majors in RBIs with those 25. The first time he had done that since July of 2006, and it's August 1st now, but looks like he's not missing a beat.
Able to drive in a run here in the third as Napoli takes a pitch inside.
Well, it's still hot in Jamaica in August, too.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Napoli fly to center in the first, 0 for 1, waiting on a 1-1. Capuano surrendering 2 runs so far, 3 straight hits. Triple, double, and a single after he got the first out of the inning. Larry Rothschild, pitching coach for New York. Call the ball, 3-1.
Very close pitch right here from Capuano. They wanted to go inside. He goes to the outside corner, and it looks like it was a strike, but didn't get the call.
Napoli lines out to short. Jeter tries to turn it into two, but the throw is very high, and Teixeira had to leap to keep that from the dugout. Well, do you want to relive the best Red Sox moments from this past week? Then tune in Sunday night at 9:30 for the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by AAA.
Now Jeter trying to turn this into a double play as he makes the catch, but you could see the throw is going to be high as soon as it left his hand. And Teixeira had to come up off the base, and Ortiz safe at first base.
2 down, Ortiz at first, and Alan Craig gets his second at bat in a Red Sox uniform, but first to check at first. Lined out to the center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury in the second inning, 0 for 1. Strike one. Craig primarily has appeared in right field for the Cardinals this season. 70 games all started in right field, 24 games at first base. Only 10 in left, only 2 games started in left, and now make it 3 with his first start in Boston. He's down 0-2.
A lot of changeups thrown by Capuano so far in the first 3 innings of this ball game. Some have been very good, like this one. Some have stayed up in the zone and have been hit.
Seven for 12 against Capuano in his career. Was a lot of time by Capuano logged in the National League. All but this season. A 2-pitch up and away, 1-2. '50th pitch of the night coming up here for Capuano. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brock Holt got it started with a triple. Two and two. Foul outside of third. We'll do it again. Enjoy the rich taste of Farmhouse Blend coffee from Cumberland Farms. It's made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 2 runs in. Alan Craig with a count of 2-2. Line to left. This is going to get in for a base hit. Heading for third is Big Papi, and David will get there without a problem. It's a double. First hit in the Red Sox uniform for Alan Craig, and it's second and third.
And that breaks up an 0 for 14 for Craig. He gets a fastball doubted in that time from Capuano and cleans it out. Gets his hands inside the baseball, puts it on a line, keeps it in fair territory, and the Red Sox go second and third now with 2 outs. Butterfield holding up Ortiz at third base.
Now Xander Bogaerts with runners at second and third. Did he go? They'll check. Yes, he did, says Ted Barrett. Bogaerts 2 for 3 in his career against Capuano. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, 2 runs in. To third, and Headley will go across the diamond for the out. That ends the inning. But the Red Sox score a pair of runs into 3. Boston on top 2-0. Strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here, your first. Well, the Red Sox getting 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning to take a 2-0 lead to the 4th. Anthony Ranaudo back on the mound again. His first strikeout in the major leagues. Derek Jeter got him looking in the 3rd. As you get out of a 1st and 3rd 2-out situation, getting Teixeira to fly out now. Carlos Beltran leads it off and takes ball 1. Beltran walked in the 2nd inning. 1 of 3 walks given up by Ranaudo. Driven to right. Back goes Holt to the track. At the wall, it's gone. Line drive home run into the bullpen. The Yankees are on the board with the 13th home run of the year for Carlos Beltran.
Eight straight games now for Carlos Beltran that he's hit, and this is a line drive home run. He gets on top of a fastball that time and hooks it off Ranaudo. Then the Yankee bullpen. Holt goes back, hits that wall pretty hard, trying to make a catch on this. But clearly can't get to it as he runs out of real estate.
Now McCann fouls it off to the left out of play. Brian McCann, 0 for 1. Beltran going deep. 8-game hitting streak now, and he's had 3 home runs along the way. Fly ball the other way. Alan Craig coming in. 1 down. Well, the Red Sox are bringing classy back with the Boston bow tie package. This offer includes a Red Sox bow tie, a game ticket for Friday, August 22nd against the Mariners at 7:10, and a donation to the Red Sox Foundation.
Now, that night, we've got to wear a bow tie.
Absolutely. You ever worn a bow tie before?
What's that?
Have you ever worn a bow tie before? Just
Yeah.
You have one?
No, I wore one member in the.
Yeah, well, that was a tuxedo. I'm just talking about a regular suit.
No, I haven't.
No? How about you all over me for not returning phone calls with Charlie Moore? Was that necessary? I thought you were my friend. You were supposed to help me out.
No, you don't.
I return all your phone calls.
You do not
and
return
all of your texts.
You do not. You do not. You're very. You're. How would I put it without being?
I'm very busy.
Let's put it this way. You do it when you feel like doing it.
What would you say? 80% of the time?
No.
Wow.
No.
See, I thought it was more than that.
50% of the time.
Whoa. Chase Headley lined out to right in the second inning.
And I know you're a very busy man. You're on camera a lot.
Stack it up on the right side here again, and Headley, and he swings through this 1-2.
And every time you run to the weather, I call you. I get no response. Every time I'm sick, which was about once a week, you never call. It's okay. I mean, I get the drill by now.
Oh, wow.
I get the drill.
Frame there by Ross when it evens at 2-2. Beltran has homer to get the Yankees on the board. On the ground, right into the shift. Pedroia racing in. Has plenty of time to throw out Headley. 2 down in the inning. Shift worked great that time. I remind you to vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at NESN.com/Amica. And to win a $100 gift card from NESN to the Yawkey Way team store.
We got a whole list of candidates to choose from, don't you?
A bunch of guys.
Wow.
2 down. Stephen Drew, the batter. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the bullpen. We now have Alex Wilson back out there and Tommy Lane back with the club again. There they are. Tommy Lane on the left, Alex Wilson on the right. Back in the Red Sox pen. End of the game will be the same. Zawa and Uehara still on the club. Two-0 pitch to Drew. On the ground right side, Pedroia bobbles it. Time to recover, and he does, to throw out Stephen Drew and to end the inning. Home run by Beltran gets the Yankees on the board. 2-1 Boston. and your community. Eastern Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern puts you first at easternbank.com. 2-1, Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. Carlos Beltran with a home run off Anthony Ranaudo. And it is a one-run game right now as the Red Sox come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Will Middlebrooks struck out swinging in the second inning, 0 for 1. As he takes strike one. Middlebrooks, Ross, and Betts featured here in the fourth inning. Little bloop back at first. It's going to fall in for a base hit to right. Middlebrooks with a single is thinking too. Little bobbled by Ichiro, and he'll get to second base. And stopped as he got around first base, then continued on.
A breaking ball that time to Middlebrooks that got in his hands, but he was able to flip it over the first baseman's head. Looks like that was going to be the end of the play right there, but then a little bobble out here by Ichiro, and Middlebrooks heads up. Oh no, it got stuck under the wall is what it did. And then Middlebrooks, once he sees that, in the scoring position at second base.
So a double for Middlebrooks at second base. Nobody out. David Ross, the batter. Grounded out to shortstop in the second inning.
Teams are playing this very close to the best, aren't they? Early in the ball game, we saw the infield in for the Yankees. We see Ross squaring around.
Swings away and sends it into right field for a base hit. Middlebrooks being waved around. No throw from Ichiro, and the Red Sox take a 3-1 lead. David Ross drives in the third Boston run of the night.
And Ross was trying to do that. He was trying to move the ball to the opposite field. You could tell by his swing. An inside-out swing, hands inside the baseball on a ball that was down and in, trying to move the ball to the right side. And he gets the bonus. He gets the base hit and drives in Will Middlebrooks. Nice job by David Ross. So 2 balls to the opposite field this inning by the Red Sox hitters. Get him a run.
So Ross at first with nobody out, a run in. Mookie Betts, number 9 man. Action for New York. A guy that they had starting games at one point, Chase Whitley. Right-hander up in the pen for New York. Eastern Lexus Steelers bring us the pitching line for Chris Capuano. 3+, 7 hits, 3 runs. Hasn't walked anybody, struck out 2. Now 60 pitches deep in his outing. A double and a single to start this fourth inning that has Boston on top now, 3-1. Grounder foul, and it's 2-1. Well, tomorrow catch an all-new episode of Nesson Clubhouse where kids run the show. Find out at the Museum of Science how the shape of your foot affects the way you play baseball. Let's learn what it's like to be a Fenway ambassador. And it's another round of Batter Up with D'Angelo Ortiz. Don't miss Nesson Clubhouse live and commercial free in a special Saturday edition tomorrow at 2:30.
How about the shape of your feet when you're done playing baseball?
How's that working
I'd be
out?
more interested than that.
Center field towards the end of the bat, and it fooled Ellsbury. Coming in now, but outgoing is Stephen Drew to make that catch from second base. Got fooled, and Ellsbury actually started back, but it appeared to be towards the end of the bat. 1 down.
Yeah, tough to read as a center fielder. You know, you see location of pitch, and you know the ball's away, but you see him freeze a little bit because it was toward the end of the bat. And Drew was able to cover the ground to make the catch and pick up Ellsbury on that one.
One out, David Ross at first base. Top of the order, Brock Holt. He tripled his last time up, scored the Red Sox first run. Send it down to Gary.
Guys, busy night at the plate for Brock Holt. It was a busy early afternoon as he was the main attraction. As he and myself, we paid a visit to the Jimmy Fund Clinic to really spend some time with the guys and the kids that are fighting the real fight, really fighting the real battle there, battling cancer. It was really one of the most eye-opening experiences, one of the most inspiring 2 hours I've really spent in recent memory. Of course, Brock Holt, he was a hit. He met his buddy Henry, spent some time with him. We met a girl, Eliana, who after Brock Holt gave her his autograph, she wanted to give us her autograph, so she did it in pink paint on our wrist. I think there's a picture of us showing off our new tattoos on our wrists. I still have mine. And then we met a guy, Noah, 11 years old. I promised him this, Noah. He was eating a bagel. He wasn't feeling too well. I promised him a shout-out to make him feel better. So, Noah, keep fighting the good fight, my man. I hope you enjoyed that bagel, guys. It was one heck of an afternoon to be able to spend some time with the kids at the Jimmy Fund Clinic with Brock Holt.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. Well, of course, it'll be coming up here at Fenway Park, the WEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Telethon from Fenway. And always an experience you'll never forget anytime you go to the Jimmy Fund Clinic, as so many Red Sox players have throughout the years, and good to see Brock Holt continuing that tradition. Pedroia 1 for 2 tonight, a double his last time up to drive in a run. Now 39 RBIs on the year for Pedroia. Went around, according to Alfonso Marquez, home plate umpire, makes the call. 1-1. David Ross at first base, a run in with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Pedroia fouls it off to the right, out of play. Arbella Insurance Foundation is the proud presenting sponsor of the WEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon, this season dedicated to striking out cancer in kids. Arbella donates $50 for every strikeout thrown by a Sox pitcher, up to $10,000. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. One-two pitch to Pedroia. And badly fooled, off balance, strikes out. Second K for Capuano, but the Red Sox tack on a run. Lead it 3-1 at the end of 4. TV to 536-536 and get the link NESN.com/OnTV to get started. And a lot of good videos. I'd like to see your video on TV tonight. It's on to the top of the 5th inning. 3-1 Red Sox have the lead. Ichiro to lead it off, flied out to left field in the 3rd inning. Ichiro, Brett Gardner, and Derek Jeter to bat in the 5th. And on the grass at 3rd is Middlebrooks. Your thoughts on Ranaudo so far tonight?
Well, he's been impressive. You know, he has nerves doesn't seem to be a problem. He has walked a few people, 3 walks in the game, but seems to be in control of his emotions out there on the mound.
Ichiro lines it into right field for a base hit. Yankees pick up their 3rd hit of the night.
I mean, think about what's probably been going through his head over the last couple of days, knowing that he's probably going to get a start. It's going to be against the New York Yankees. It's going to be at Fenway Park. Grew up in New Jersey.
And his first strikeout in the big leagues, Derek Jeter.
How about that?
And I'm looking in the 3rd, the only K that he has tonight. Brett Gardner has walked twice, stolen base tonight, but has not been able to score. Yankees have left 4 men on base for the first 4 innings tonight. That's ball 1 up and away.
Ichiro does not run like he once did. He has 6 steals on the season, but thrown out a couple of times.
The strike, and it's 1-1. Yankees lost 2 out of 3 against the Texas Rangers for arriving here at Fenway Park, part of this 6-game road trip. Gardner will take ball 2.
Yankees had the day off here and yesterday, although not much of a day off. They had about a 4 or 5 o'clock arrival from Texas on the previous day. That trip back from Texas is always a tough one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's not right around the corner.
No, it's not.
Fouled off. This next trip has got a little bit of a West Coast.
This is a weird
East
twist.
Coast. Yeah.
We've never really had one of these.
No.
Where we go to a National League ballpark, then we go to Anaheim.
Then you come back to a National League ballpark.
To Cincinnati. Kind of a strange trip.
There it is. Cardinals for 3, Angels for 3. Then you do that 3:30 thing, 6:30. Yeah, not too bad. You get to Cincinnati at a fairly reasonable time.
Yeah, and then you have an off day the next day.
And then 2 against Cincinnati. Day game on Wednesday before coming back here to Fenway Park to see the Houston Astros. Napoli holding on Ichiro at first base. Nobody out here in the 5th. Payoff pitch to Brett Gardner. There goes Ichiro, and Gardner lines out to second, and Pedroia can turn it into 2. Well, the runner taking off. You take that risk, and it works into a double play. Sharply hit, but right at Pedroia.
Yeah, you start that runner at first base, and there's nothing you can do about this. Pedroia getting that ball before it hits the dirt. And that allows them to complete the easy double play as he flips to Napoli to get the out. The ball bounces. Ichiro's probably safe at second base in scoring position. And that was a sinking line drive to Dustin Pedroia.
Two down, bases empty for Derek Jeter. 0 for 2 in the game against Ranaudo. And a ground ball to second base. Pedroia will grab this, and Ranaudo gets through the 5th inning with a 3-1 lead. Well, it is the bottom of the 5th inning back at Fenway. 3-1. Red Sox have the lead. Keith Folk in the house. 2004 closer for the Red Sox and the World Series team. And he's been back many times. Reds are back here again tonight. Red Sox and Yankees. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning with the Red Sox on top 3-1. David Ortiz with a single and an RBI his last time up. 1 for 2 night for the Red Sox DH. Well, infusion of new players here at Fenway Park, and the Red Sox have a little jump in their step so far tonight. On top 3-1 and getting good pitching in the Major League debut for Ranaudo. This one grounded foul. On July 27th, the fundraising event was hosted at Fenway Park by Care One and HealthBridge to support the Care One Cancer Fund in honor of Dan Grimes. Over 1,800 people attended the event that raised over $1.3 million. Equally important, grants will also support essential cancer research. To contribute to this great fund, visit care/one.com. Save Dan. On to first base, and Jeter able to get it done with the shift on, able to get Ortiz for the first out of the inning.
Jeter had an awful long way to go for that. Kind of a check swing by David Ortiz, and Jeter, you can see it at about his normal shortstop position. He has to go way to his right to make that off-balance throw to get to Ortiz at first base. Ortiz going as hard as he can down the line, but can't beat it out.
One down for Mike Napoli. 0 for 2 in the game. He is fly to center, lined out to short. Anthony Ranaudo and David Ross talking it over here. He's got 5 innings under his belt, giving up 1 run. 69 pitches through the first 5. Christian Vasquez there as well, a guy who knows him well. Left side, and Jeter charging in. Throws out Napoli, 2 down. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guaranteed. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. So 2 down for Alan Craig. That's one thing moving forward, Jerry, with all the new pitchers coming up from Pawtucket. Now in the rotation, you get Christian Vasquez, who's caught them all already.
You're exactly right. And, this gives these guys, if it stays the way it is, some valuable experience here for the last couple of months of the season. When they get to spring training after, if you pitch a couple of months up here, you're going to have a pretty good idea what's going on by the time you get to spring training. So, we'll have to see how it shakes out, but it looks like that's the way the rotation's going to be, at least for now. And you're right about Vasquez. He certainly has a knowledge of all of these guys, a very good knowledge.
No 1 to Alan Craig. And a swing and a miss down 0-2.
I swear today I was sitting in that clubhouse. You know where I sit and I do my work?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking straight ahead, and I look to my right, and I look over to the back of me, and it's all guys from Pawtucket. I mean, and I felt like I was in the Pawtucket clubhouse, for a second. It was very, very strange.
Feel? You were lost, took a wrong turn, ended up
did I make a mistake? Am I at McCoy Stadium?
It was pretty strange.
How things change.
Mookie Betts back. Will Middlebrooks back. Anthony Ranaudo here for the first time. Tommy Lane here. Alex Wilson here. Two to Alan Craig. A little bit low, full count. Xander Bogaerts 1 for 2. Singled in the second inning. He waits on deck. Well, things did not sound good for Shane Victorino. Lower back onto the DL again.
MRI taken today, waiting for the results of those tests.
Swing and a miss, and Craig will have to be thrown out as he got away from McCann. Throws him out and ends the inning. First 1-2-3 inning of the night for Capuano. 3-1 Red Sox. smoothly like Swingline Fusion Laminators, a super fast, super easy way to laminate and protect your best work. Order yours today from who but WB Mason. Well, it's time for the list. Red Sox trade deadline acquisition since 2004. Jason Bay, Orlando Cabrera, Victor Martinez, Jared Saltalamacchia on that list. If you have a comment about tonight's list, tweet us at #NessonList. Kobe Ellsbury leads it off in the 6th inning. Ellsbury 1 for 2, flied out to left in the 1st. Reached on an infield hit in the 3rd. Ranaudo working here in the 6th inning. Ellsbury, Teixeira, and Beltran to bat here in the inning for New York. Capuano working the first 5, just had his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing. Now up to 80 pitches through 5. Watch Sox in 2 every game day at midnight. Presented by Kiel Vodka. Stay balanced. There's a strike, 3-1. Ellsbury hitting at .279, 9 home runs, 48 RBIs on the season in his first year in New York. I think a lot of people thought the home run total may be a little bit higher for Jacoby with the short porch and right in his new home stadium. As Ellsbury down to first base with a leadoff walk. That's the 4th walk given up by Ranaudo, and it is the 3rd time there's been a leadoff walk. That's playing with fire there a little bit for Ranaudo.
Yeah, it's a little bit dangerous for Ranaudo. There are 3 times walking the leadoff man in an inning. He's been fortunate so far that it hasn't hurt him. The only thing he's given up is the home run to Beltran.
Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 + 3 hits, a run. He's walked 4, struck out a batter, and about to throw his 75th pitch. Will Middlebrooks from third base into the shift comes over to the right side of the infield. They leave Bogaerts on the left side for Mark Teixeira. Teixeira 0 for 2. He's grounded back to the mound and flied out to center. Runner goes, a pitch outside, throws, good one, and out at second base twice is Ellsbury. He felt like he was obstructed by Bogaerts, and that is what Girardi's going to argue. Bogaerts was in the way as he arrived on the scene, and we'll see what they do.
Well, you have to be able to reach to make a play.
But he's fully in front of the bag, I think.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't think so. He thought he was safe. He just thought he beat the play. Thought he had his foot on the bag before Bogaerts made the tag. And then was ready to pop up and go to third base. Thought the ball would get by him.
Well, they are going to challenge here. I just thought that looking at it, that Bogaerts' body physically was in front of the bag at second base. Both feet were in front of the bag. Didn't make contact as he went through the legs.
Yeah, I'll take another look at that and see if right there he is in front of the bag, straddling the bag, so he's not really keeping Ellsbury from. Looks like Ellsbury was safe to me. It looks like he got his foot on the bag before the tag, got up around the hip.
So this will probably be overturned here and a safe call.
Could be. This is probably the best look that we have right here, and you can see Ellsbury's foot on the bag, and then the tag comes from Bogaerts, who was straddling in front of the bag. I think he's safe.
The call on the field right now is out. The Yankees challenge. And the umpires in New York taking a look at this. And soon we'll have word. Ellsbury waiting over by the Yankees dugout looking at the umpires. And Ted Barrett, the crew chief of this crew.
See that bag bounce up, couldn't you? Before the tag.
And he will be safe at second base. So they do overturn the call. Stolen base for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Ellsbury now has 29 on the season. He's been caught 5 times. That's a big call right there in this game. Close ball game. Middle part of the game. Man in scoring position, nobody out.
Teixeira took a ball, so it's 1-0 with a runner at second and nobody out. There's ball 2, 2-0. Action for the first time in the Red Sox pen. Left-hander just called up, Tommy Lane. Saw a lot of Lane in spring training. Teixeira, hot shot to first, picked by Napoli after he knocked it down and then tags the bag. But Ellsbury on to third with now 1 out of the inning.
That ball really hit hard by Teixeira, and that ball just exploded in front of Mike Napoli. One of those top spin line drives that just comes up on you. And Napoli able to take it himself to get the out. Jumped right over the glove of Napoli and looks like it got him in the stomach.
So Ellsbury at third base, 1 down in the inning. Carlos Beltran, the batter. Walked in the second, homered in the fourth. Beltran, his 13th home run of the year. The DH for the Yankees get the Yankees on the board in the fourth. It was so far their only run of the game, and Brock Holt running out of room. Grounder foul towards the end of the Red Sox dugout.
Striker make that play?
I think he did.
This will be unbelievable. He did. Yo.
Guys, that was my third attempt at a liner, and I finally made a play with a hot dog in my hand. So
nice.
Highlight reel.
To center field and a base hit for Carlos Beltran. This will plate Ellsbury, and it's a 1-run game. So Beltran is on base for the third time tonight. This time drives in his 38th run.
Beltran, and it has not been a mystery for him tonight. As you mentioned, 3 times on the walk, the home run, now the base hit. 2 RBIs, his 38th and 39th of the season.
So with 1 out and Beltran at first base, here's Brian McCann, 0 for 2. Flied out twice to left field. Strike one. Only one strikeout so far for Ranaudo. He's walked 4, and for the first time, one of those walks has turned into a run for New York. Strike 2, and it's 0-2. Same spot, just about.
That's the curveball we were talking about a little bit earlier in the ball game that he drops in for the second strike on McCann.
Bouncing in, blocked by Ross. No advance at first base for Beltran.
Tries it again, this time down a little bit low, hoping McCann will chase it, but he does not. And Ross has to block it to keep Beltran at first base. Took that one right off the chest protector.
McCann strikes out looking. Big strikeout for Ranaudo. 2 down.
A little two-seam on that, it looked like, from Ranaudo. Looks like that ball started off inside and came back to the inside corner. See where Ross is set up and where the fastball tails back. A little bit like Clay Buchholz when he goes inside to lefties and that ball tails back to the corner.
Beacon Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down, Beltran at first base, and a pitch up high for ball 1. Chase Headley, the batter, 0 for 2. He's lined out to right, grounded out to second base. One and one. Walk started the inning, stolen base for Ellsbury, ground ball. And Ellsbury to third, the single by Beltran scores Jacoby Ellsbury with a second New York run. Strikeout of Brian McCann, now 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, 1-2. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Abood, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics. Now available at Men's Warehouse. And thanks to Joseph for stopping by before the game with some new ties. Very happy about that, Jerry. I'm good to go.
And you're very pleased with the type of ties that he brought up tonight for you. You got a whole bag full of them.
Very good selection. We got the wide ties, good colors. And here's the ball game tonight as this pitch misses inside. So I can continue the string, Jerry, thanks to him of never wearing the same tie twice in a season.
Oh, you've got to that point?
Yes.
Okay.
It was getting very close, and he came up big tonight in an emergency tie visit. Right before the St. Louis, L.A., Cincinnati leg of our trip.
Wait a minute. You're going to tell me now that he's already given you 161 ties?
I don't have the complete season yet, but he's given me 109.
109 ties.
So far, yes.
So you're still a little bit short.
I'm still a little bit short, but I don't think he's going to let me down now, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Great.
Not once he hears this, no.
I mean, this trip was right up against it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to like one other before this bag arrived tonight, so this is good. Two will miss inside. On the ground right side, as it'll be Middlebrooks on the right side of the infield. It throws out Headley. A run for the Yankees, but the Red Sox still on top. Ranaudo's like it. Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running. It guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but W.B. Mason? 3-2, Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Xander Bogaerts, Will Middlebrooks, and David Ross. As Chris Capuano back on the mound. Pitch 81 coming. It's down and in for ball one. Bogaerts with a single to left field in the second, grounded out to third base in the third. Bogaerts now with a 6-game hitting streak. Sharply hit but picked on the backhand by Headley. His throw in time. Nicely picked on the other side by Teixeira. What a play by Headley down at third base.
Yeah, very nice. Both ends. Down at third base, down at first base. Headley taking extra bases away, as you can see right there from Xander Bogaerts with the dive. And then the one-hop throw to first base. And Teixeira doing the rest of the work. That was a tough hop Teixeira had at first base, too.
Gold Glove Award winner in 2012, Chase Headley. Swing and a miss for Will Middlebrooks for strike one. Getting a look at that Gold Glove play down at third base now as a member of the Yankees. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups to start off Middlebrooks. Struck him out on a changeup back in the second inning. It was a breaking ball he hit for a base hit in the fourth. On the changeup.
And Middlebrooks goes after it and strikes out. Second time he's down by way of the K tonight. 4 strikeouts for Capuano, 2 down. Well, these aerial views of Boston and Fenway Park are brought to you by Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. For every purchase of Hood Red Sox ice cream now through the end of the season, Hood will donate $1 to the Red Sox Foundation. Learn more at hood.com. Two down here in the 6th inning. Action for New York now. Sean Kelly, the right-hander, is up. 8 in a row retired by Capuano. Here's David Ross. Beginning on Tuesday, the New England Regional Little League Tournament takes over for 3 days right here on NESN. Don't miss the championship teams from your state as they compete for a spot in the World Series. It all begins Tuesday at 1 with Maine versus Massachusetts, followed by Connecticut against Rhode Island.
Were you on the Michael Kay show today?
No.
Oh, I thought you said you went on the Michael Kay show.
No, I was not on the Michael Kay show today.
Oh, okay.
I sat here and watched the Michael Kay show while I was getting ready.
Oh, okay.
Why?
No, I thought you said you were going on.
No.
You would have done it in New York.
One pitch to Ross. Late on the fastball at 91, 1-2. Inside 2-2. I did do the Red Sox report today. Upcoming show coming up next week.
Yeah, I know you did that. Yeah, for next week's show. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a review of this last week in Red Sox Nation. A lot going on.
Because I got a tweet that you were on the Michael Kay show, and I didn't think you were.
No. 2-2 pitch. Line off the glove of Headley. Time to recover with Ross running, and Ross really struggling. And the plantar fasciitis that has bothered him, and he is hobbling his way towards the dugout. Inning over. 3-2 Boston. Not strange to see Johnny Gomes in that uniform. He's had it on before, but very strange to see John Lester holding that up.
Lester right in the middle of the group.
Now 3-2, Red Sox have the lead, and out of the game is David Ross. As Ross pulling up, going down the first base line, that plantar fasciitis problem again.
And this does not look good right there. He's about halfway down that first base line, and he was in an awful lot of pain going into that Red Sox tunnel.
I'm not a doctor, Jerry. We've covered this. I'm not even a good baseball announcer, but I'm definitely not a doctor. My understanding is that if you rupture the plantar fasciitis, it is a good thing and will help you come back faster.
I really don't know. I don't know.
That's something along the lines of that if it does rupture, then like it's going to be very painful. But like 4 or 5 days later, it actually helps the situation.
Really?
I'm sure I'll hear from a lot of foot people in the very near future. But that was my understanding.
I can't help you with that one. I have no idea. I can't even say it.
Plantar fasciitis?
Plantar fasciitis.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. There is Tommy Lane. 37 appearances with the Paw Sox, 5-1 and 1.50. Earned run average and a fly ball out to deep left center field. Alan Craig has got room, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Anthony Ranaudo done after 6 innings tonight. Gives up 4 hits and 2 runs. He walked 4. One of those walks became a run and struck out 2 in his major league debut. And through 91 pitches, departs with a chance to get a win in his major league debut.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice feeling for him sitting there right now, sitting there with the lead and getting his first major league start.
Rick Badenhop in the pen for the Red Sox behind Lane. Martin Prado just picked up by New York. Ready to pinch hit here for Ichiro in the 7th. He'll take ball 1. Prado acquired from Arizona in exchange for Pete O'Brien and cash considerations. Player to be named later. 106 games with the Diamondbacks this year, hitting at .270. 9 major league seasons, playing most of them with the Atlanta Braves, 06 through 2012, last 2 years in Arizona. To third, and Middlebrooks on the high hop. 2 down. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. Visit www.cfmsfund.org for more info. 2 down in the 7th, and Brett Gardner. Walk in the first, a walk in the third before lining into a double play in the 5th. One of the moves the Yankees made in adding Martin Prado. Brian Roberts, who we saw this season with the Yankees, was designated for assignment. Strike 2. New age pop rock artist Yanni performs neo-classical music at Foxwoods Resort Casino August 22nd. For tickets, visit foxwoods.com. Strike 3 call. And meet Jerry Remy at the concert. He'll be there. 7th inning stretch, 3-2 Red Sox. Cask and Flagon in Marshfield. Plus, Tom Caron cooks up his favorite Southwest lasagna with Jenny. Don't miss it. Dining Playbook tomorrow morning at 9. A beautiful night tonight in Boston. 3-2. Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. It'll be Mookie Betts, Brock Holt, and Dustin Pedroia coming up here for the Red Sox. Martin Prado stays in the game in right field after pinch hitting for Ichiro. Chris Capuano back on the mound here for New York to pitch the 7th inning. Gave up 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, but since then has now retired 9 batters in a row. There is action at the Yankees pen. Former Red Sox left-hander Matt Thornton has joined Sean Kelly. Betts takes strike 1. 0 for 2 tonight from the number 9 spot in the order. A ground out to 3rd and a pop out to 2nd. David Food is steak, likes Ludacris. Maybach. We talked about this before.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, here we go.
Guys, I'm pretty sure Maybach is the most expensive of Mercedes.
Oh.
They have like the curtains in the back and the seats recline.
Nice curtains.
Curtains in the back.
Yeah. Are we talking about a van? What are we talking about?
No.
An A2 van.
The double M, the rappers call it.
2-1.
Certainly way out of our
yes, that's why we have Gary.
Yeah.
Anytime we're not sure, we just check in with Gary.
I do know Ludacris, though. They call him Lude.
Is that right, Gary?
Luda.
He's got other names you didn't know
I believe
about.
his legal name is Christopher Bridges, if you want to go by his legal.
If you know him, and Jerry does.
Then it's just Lude.
3-1 pitch is in there for strike, full count. But Jerry's not at Yanni concerts. He sometimes sees Lude.
Who is Yanni, anyway?
He looks like Dennis Eckersley, but with longer. And I think he was married to like the dynasty, Linda Evans, maybe at one point.
Yanni?
Yeah. He's Eck, but he plays like piano and stuff. 3-2 is in the right. Over comes Prado. And Betts aboard with a leadoff single to begin the 7th inning. Tune in tonight after Red Sox coverage in Essence Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Jamison and Jamie will look at Ty Law's induction to the Patriots Hall of Fame and have more reaction from the Sox on their busy trade deadline day. See what Know How can do.
Just my luck now. Yanni will be at the ballpark for one of his concerts, so he'll be one of our guests.
Yeah, you'll say, who are you?
Yeah, who are you? I'm Yanni.
Lead runner on here for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 7th as they check on Betts at first. And on the grass at 3rd is Chase Headley. In case Holt entertains any thoughts of a sacrifice. Throw to first by Capuano, and back to the bag is Betts. There is Shinichi Tozawa. Another throw over to first base. So they threw to first, and back was Betts. Inside for ball 1 to Brock Holt. Capuano nearing 100 pitches, up to 97. Through 94 in his last start. And Holt does bunt, but it's back towards the mound. Capuano will go to first, and it's just in time. Relatively close play at first. But the sacrifice as Betts takes second base.
Yeah, you have a little leeway when you have a guy that runs as well as Mookie Betts at first base. You don't have to make that perfect bunt. And even though that ball was back toward the pitcher, Betts has the kind of speed where Capuano had no play at second base.
With one out, a runner in scoring position, Joe Girardi makes the pitching change. That's a night for Capuano. We'll step aside with a change from Fenway. Red Sox have a 3-2 lead. It's time now for our AT&T fan photo of the game, and it comes from Aaron Wedgwood enjoying his night here at Fenway Park down the right field line in the right field roof deck here at Fenway. Send your photo to hashtag NESSonFanPhoto. Sean Kelly into the game for the Yankees as he takes over for Capuano into his 36th game of the year. 1-3 with a 3.51 earned run average. 43 strikeouts and 13 walks, and opponents hitting at .211 against Kelly. Capuano still responsible for Mookie Betts at second base as Pedroia takes ball 2. No walks, 5 Ks for Capuano in 6 1/3 innings. Gave up 8 hits so far, charged with 3 runs. Pedroia scoring one of those runs. Sean Kelly with 43 strikeouts in 33 1/3 innings. Over 35 relief appearances this season. Spent time on the DL. They strained back, missed a total of 31 team games. 2-1 is on the ground up the middle. Into center field, a base hit for Pedroia. Here comes Betts, and here comes a 4-2 Red Sox lead.
Very nice hitting by Dustin Pedroia right there. He gets a breaking ball and a pretty good one from Kelly, and he's able to reach out, cover the plate, and hit it up the middle for the base hit. That's not a bad pitch. Maybe a little bit high, but certainly to the outside part of the plate. And Pedroia able to reach out, punch it up the middle, and Mookie Betts scores.
Well, Joe Girardi to the mound again. Sean Kelly cannot get the job done. He allows inherited runner to score. Red Sox up their lead to 4-2. In comes Matt Thornton. Stay tuned tonight following WB Mason Extra Innings Live. A Red Sox Final presented by Assurance. Send your questions to TC and hashtag Sox Final. Maybe yours will be answered on Red Sox Final presented by Assurance. Well, with one out here in the Boston seventh inning, Red Sox have a run in. Pedroia at first base and David Ortiz the batter. Swings at the first pitch, grounds one to second base as Pedroia eludes the tag. There's an out there, and they're also saying that he was out of the baseline, so it's a double play. Pedroia didn't think so, but Ted Barrett did, and that ends the inning. So the Red Sox take another lead here. They're on top 4-2 at the end of 7. Great seats to all your favorite Red Sox games and all the remaining Red Sox games in 2014. Ace Ticket, Friday Night Baseball. It's time now for your Xfinity game summary. Capuano went 6 1/3 tonight for New York. He gets charged with the 4 runs the Red Sox have. Carlos Beltran with his 13th home run of the year. Anthony Ranaudo in his major league debut. 6 innings tonight, giving up 2 earned runs. Chance for his first major league win. Red Sox have tacked on a run since he left. Pedroia 2 for 4 in the game, and Alan Craig in his Red Sox debut 1 for 3 with a double. Shinichi Tazawa into his 49th game of the year, 1-2 with a 3.21 earned run average, 44 strikeouts, 10 walks. Opponent's hitting at 264 against Tazawa. Jeter to left field. Craig looks up, and that's gone. Derek Jeter in his final season has taken this ball out of the yard at Fenway, and it's a run-run game.
Well, most of the time we see Jeter hit the ball to center field or to right field. This time he gets a first pitch fastball in from Tazawa and is able to pull it up into the monster seats.
So after 6 innings from Ranaudo, an inning from Lane, now the Red Sox getting back to some normalcy as far as what you're used to at the back end of the game. And Tazawa gives up a leadoff home run. to Derek Jeter to begin things here in the 8th. Now Ellsbury. Scobie has fly to left, reached on an infield hit, walked and scored. Not it. To center field, and Betts going back, and Betts leaps at center and makes the catch. Mookie Betts with a fabulous catch out at center.
Not bad for a second baseman. Move to the outfield right there. It almost looked like Mookie Betts jumped a little bit too soon, but he's able to catch it as he lands on his back foot. Tremendous play by Mookie Betts. He's got that closing speed. A great concentration by Betts to make that catch. Almost looked like he leaped a little bit too soon and actually caught it on the way down.
2 hard hit balls to begin this 8th inning off Tazawa. A little help from his friends behind him as Teixeira takes ball 1. Teixeira's grounded out, flied out, grounded out again. Pop up down the left field line, falling fast and falling fair. It'll jump up into the seats for a ground rule double, and the tying run is now in scoring position with 1 out in the 8th.
Well, we've seen the Red Sox tonight go to the opposite field with a couple. This time Teixeira does. Teixeira hit a bullet to first base last time up. This time just slicing it down that left field line. It'll clearly land in fair territory, then bounce up into the stands with all that spin on it.
There comes Juan Nieves out of the dugout. Red Sox do not have anybody up right now in the pen. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. So Tazawa has given up a home run, a long fly ball to center field by Ellsbury, and now a double by Mark Teixeira. Tazawa allowed a run on 2 hits on Tuesday night against the Blue Jays. Beltran takes it in the dirt for ball 1.
Time Tazawa trying the split-fingered fastball on the first pitch. See if Beltran would chase it. Did not. Falls behind 1-0.
Popped up, foul ground, that'll get out of play. Are you a Red Sox fan looking for creative ways to fundraise for your nonprofit organization? There's no better place to do so than Fenway Park. Contact our group sales department to learn about this summer's fundraising packages. Go to redsox.com/groups for more details. One out to share at second base. Beltran has been aboard 3 times in this game. A walk, a solo home run, and a single to center field. Now he's got a ground ball shift on, and Pedroia to the backhand at second will throw him out. as Teixeira, the tying run, gets to third base with 2 outs in the 8th.
A much better pitch right there by Tazawa. He throws that split-fingered fastball, gets good action on it, going down and away from Beltran. Gets Beltran to reach to pull that ball to Pedroia.
First time he has been retired tonight. 2 down here in the 8th. Brian McCann 0 for 3. 2 flyouts to left and a strikeout looking. .240 average coming into tonight's game for the Yankees catcher. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Bouncing in, blocked by Vasquez with that tying run at third base.
That's the confidence you have to have in your catcher to throw that pitch, that split-fingered fastball with a man at third base. He threw that directly down in the dirt. What a great play by Vasquez.
Red Sox have left-handed action in the pen. Craig Breslow up in the pen. Away, and it's 2-1. Double-barreled action in the pen for the Yankees. Adam Warren and Dylan Betances. Gary Tuck looking on in the pen. Chase Headley on deck. Yankees batting in the 8th. And they have gotten a run closer, have a runner at third. 2-1 pitch.
Wow.
A little low, apparently.
Yeah, where was that one? Seemed to be right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Alfonso Marquez has the plate tonight as Tazawa, as a result, here, has fallen behind 3-1. Swing and a miss, full count. Tazawa battles back.
Yeah, no fastball either on the 3-1 count. Got the split-fingered fastball. McCann probably geared up for the fastball, did not get it.
Tying run at third base and Mark Teixeira for the Yankees. Here's a 3-2 pitch to McCann. Curveball that misses for ball 4, and down to first goes McCann. Well, Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. First and third with 2 down, and Chase Headley now has a chance to try to tie the game for New York. Headley lined out to right in the second, grounded out in the 4th, and then again in the 6th. Vasquez getting instructions from the dugout as to what he'll do here if anybody takes off with runners at first and third.
You certainly want your middle infielders to know whether they're covering or not covering. If not covering, don't move out of your position. Don't give it up in case of contact.
A close pitch, called the ball.
That's Tazawa getting frustrated out there right now. He had a splitter that he thought was a strike. Now he thought a fastball for a strike. That one a little bit inside.
That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Share at third base, McCann across the diamond at first base. 2 outs in the inning. Yankees already have a run in this 8th inning, thanks to the Jeter home run. Ball 2. Headley now, the inning continues. Stephen Drew waiting on deck. Headley, it's a ground ball softly right side. Pedroia fields and throws, and Tazawa's out of any further trouble. Well, what a catch by Mookie Betts as part of this 8th inning. It's 4-3 Boston. Well, Justin Q sending in that video to us tonight, and you can submit your video by texting on TV to 536-536. Sweet Caroline here at Fenway Park as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Red Sox trying to add on to what is a 1-run advantage on top 4-3. Yankees edge a little closer in the home run by Jeter in the top half of the inning. Adam Warren now into the game for New York, the 4th Yankees pitcher of the night. And it's Mike Napoli who leads it off in the bottom of the 8th. Warren into his 49th game of the year, 1-5 with 3.25 earned run average, 50 Ks to 17 walks in. Opponents hitting at 252 against the right-hander. Koji Uehara up in the pen, getting ready for Boston. Warren last worked on Tuesday as part of the Rangers-Yankees series in Texas, allowing an earned run in a third of an inning. Two one. That's in there for strike two. Napoli jumping back out of the way. The fastball at 94 miles an hour. Full count. Alan Craig, then Xander Bogaerts here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Red Sox looking to obtain some insurance on top 4-3. Napoli will walk down to first base. Didn't go, says Ted Barrett. A little hold up, lead runner on for Boston in the bottom of the 8th.
They see a lot of sliders from Warren. There's no question about that. And a very close one here to being the swing for Napoli. Able to check it and makes his way down to first base.
Well, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presenting Men's Warehouse and proudly introducing Joseph Abboud. TC and Steve Lyons will have more reaction to the Sox deadline moves and preview Game 2 of the Yankees-Sox series. That's tomorrow at 3 p.m. on NESN. Mike Napoli at first base to get the bottom of the 8th started. Here's Alan Craig. 1 for 3 in the game tonight. His Red Sox debut. He doubled in the third. Now it's a ground ball to third. Headley trying to start 2, and they will. 5 to 4 to 3, 2 down in the 8th.
Headley's been very involved in this game tonight, making a lot of plays down at third base. This time ranging a little bit to his left. A good feed to Drew at second base. Gives him time to come across the bag and not get taken out by Napoli.
Two down in the 8th, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. Bogaerts with a single in the second inning. Since then has grounded out twice. It's Chase Headley down there at third base. Yeah, 6 assists tonight down there at third base. Chase Headley has been busy. Popped up foul, 1-2. Some of that defense turned in tonight by Chase Headley.
Yeah, going all different directions to his right. Nice play there. Mookie Betts, a diving play with the one-hop throw to first base. Nice play at the other end by Teixeira. Diving to his left. He's been very busy down at third base. And up to the task.
Alexander back to shortstop tonight with the trade of Stephen Drew playing at third base since Drew had been re-signed, and now back to shortstop and will be there for the remainder of the season. 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Bogaerts strikes out. We head to the 9th inning. 4-3 Boston. It's Koji time. By the new Scion TC, Sullivan Tire and Auto Repair, KM Natural Frank Casings. When the game stands tall, opening August 22nd. And by Southwest Airlines. A beautiful night in Boston. It is 4-3. Red Sox have the lead over the Yankees. As we head to the top half of the ninth inning, Mookie Betts moves to right field. Into the game in center field is Jackie Bradley Jr. And Brock Holt now in left field for Boston. On the mound for the Red Sox is Koji Uehara. 21 out of 23 on the season for Koji. First pitch strike in there to Stephen Drew. Leads it off here in the ninth. Tazawa in the eighth gave up a run on 2 hits. Drew to right field. Betts coming in, and he will get there. His first step was back, but he recovers in the air long enough as he makes the catch for out number 1. Old Town, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Old Town will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Foundation. Visit www.cfmsfund.org for more info. 1 out in the ninth. Martin Prado gets his second at bat. He grounded out to third base in the 7th after he pinch hit for Ichiro. In there for strike 1. Oh, 2. Big cut for Prado.
Flip-fingered fastball from Uehara that time, keeping it away from Prado.
Fouled outside of third. Well, Bob's Discount Furniture going to bat for the Jimmy Fund once again. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved this season. Everybody saves at Bob's. Bob's Discount Furniture, quality, choice, and value. Learn more at mybobs.com. Koji ahead, 0-2, Martin Prado. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down.
Elevating with an 89-mile-an-hour fastball is Uehara to pick up the strikeout. So he showed him splitters down and then upstairs, up and in with the fastball for the strikeout.
Two down in the ninth inning, and Brett Gardner comes to bat. He's been on twice without the benefit of a hit. He has walked twice, lined into a double play, and struck out. Middlebrooks in on the grass at third base with 2 outs in the ninth. Strike 1. Oh for 6 with 2 strikeouts for Gardner in his career against Uehara. 0-2.
Splitter again from Uehara down out of the strike zone. That's back-to-back splitters to Gardner. Both swings, off-balance swings.
Fenway Park stands as one, as do the Ranaudos. 0-2 with 2 down. Outside for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Stephen Drew started the inning by flying out to right. Martin Prado struck out swinging. 2 outs and a count of 2-2 to Gardner with Jeter waiting on deck. Popped up, foul, back and out of play. Ranaudo went the first 6 innings tonight, giving up 2 runs. Saw Tommy Lane for an inning. Shinichi Jizawa an inning. He gave up a run, and now Koji Uehara trying to wrap it up here in the 9th. 2-2 pitch. Full count now. Gardner had been down 0-2. Three-two pitch in the air to center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. settles underneath, and the Red Sox win. Anthony Ranaudo has won his first Major League game, and his family enjoys this from Fenway Park tonight as the Red Sox are winners, and that's the 22nd save of the year for Koji Uehara. The Red Sox with an infusion of new blood here at Fenway Park tonight. A lot of new faces and a victory as the team wins tonight against the Yankees 4-3. We now send it to Tom Caron. TC?